electricity.
We're demonstrating a fully isolated two-wire ADC interface using the new IL7612 isolator that has an integrated DC-to-DC converter. As you can see, it's quite accurate. Isolation eliminates ground loops and prevents microprocessor noise from reaching the ADC. The IL7612 isolates the ADC data and power from the Arduino. We built the circuit on an Arduino shield. Here's the schematic. This is a high-resolution ADC designed for isolated applications such as power management. It can be clocked at up to 20 MHz. The circuit takes advantage of the ADC's two-wire interface mode. Just 2 channels are needed for simple SPI like this because it's unidirectional and doesn't use a chip select. The IL7612 provides 5 kV of isolation, supplies the ADC power, and translates the clock and data from the 5-volt Arduino to the 3.3-volt ADC. The Arduino generates the clock and collects the data. Unlike ordinary optocouplers, the IL7612 isolator section is plenty fast enough to isolate data at the ADC's 20 MHz maximum clock speed, which is 40 megabits per second. And finally, we have a regulator from the 5-volt Arduino, which isn't necessary with 3-volt microcontrollers. Here's the Arduino program. An Arduino clock timer provides the clock and generates an interrupt on each clock transition. An interrupt service routine reads the ADC and stores the data in an array. Then we find the sync words, digitally filter the data, and print it to the terminal. These are the key elements for this demo. This is the isolator we used. Other data couplers with integrated DC-to-DC converters are available in 2, 3, or 4 channels for a variety of SPI interfaces, plus RS-422 and RS-485. The DC-to-DC converter sections include a 113 MHz oscillator, which drives a high-frequency power amplifier, which in turn drives an isoloop microtransformer. Frequency hopping reduces EMI peak amplitudes, and embedded magnetic shielding further reduces radiated EMI. A unique polymer ceramic composite barrier provides best-in-class 5 kV isolation with virtually unlimited barrier life. On the other side of the isolation barrier, the transformer output is rectified and regulated by a low EMI, low dropout regulator with a precision band gap reference. The isolator signal path starts with a buffered input signal that is driven through an ultra-miniature coil on one side of the isolation barrier. This generates a small magnetic field that changes the electron spin polarization of GMR resistors, which are configured as a Wheatstone bridge. The change in the resistor's electronic spin creates a bridge voltage that drives an output comparator to construct an isolated version of the input signal. GMR is inherently high speed. Other key specifications include 1/4 watt isolated power, 2, 3, or 4 channel configurations, 5 kV reinforced isolation, full -40 to 125 C temperature range, and an industry standard package. Click, email, or call us for more information or to get parts.